Hello my friends, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's morning here in Glasgow in Scotland, sun is shining, very cold, at 8 degrees. I'm back again to share another topic. This topic today is something that I've observed and experienced, which broke my heart, destroyed my whole life, and I've watched it destroy numerous hundreds, thousands of people that I've worked with. I see it destroying people every single day, and that one word, and the topic today is fear. And I hopefully give you an understanding through experience and looking at your own experience and the experiences I'm going to share with you today, is that fear is the cause of every bit of pain that I had in my life. It's the only thing that caused illness and disease in my life, because I broke down my whole immune system, because I had no gratitude, I had nothing to look forward to. I was controlled by my own mind, and I allowed my own mind to control me, which is fear, through my own thinking. That was all, just my thoughts, my friends, just my thoughts. I blamed, don't get me wrong, I blamed, which kept me trapped. The fear that I had of other people, that they wouldn't like me, trying to impress them. The fear of losing my son, which I did lose through my mental health and my drug and alcohol issues. It's back in my life now, thankfully for that, because I changed and I became an example. But these videos that I do, short videos, help break the cycle of dysfunction within individuals and families, so that we can become examples to our children, our partners and friends, when we choose not to live with fear. False expectations appearing real. That's my definition of fear. That's my experience for 27 years. As you know, I became a counsellor and a therapist, studied psychology, written books, but I was still insane. I didn't know how to change. The university didn't know how to change. They don't talk about change. They never go to the root. All the counselling approaches and traditions, they never go to the root cause of mankind, the hurt, the pain, the anger, the resentment, the bitterness, the hatred, all due to fear, worry, shame, guilt, down to fear. I had to look at why was I frightened, and who was I frightened of? Because I was brought up with a religion and had a terrible fear of the word God that no human being has ever met. I've experienced there's a power out there greater than me, believe me, that works inside me. It's helped me speak on these videos and helped the healing, because I've came through cancer twice through my fear, my anger, and what I had learned is habitual patterns of thinking and reaction to these thoughts and reacting to other people. That was fear, my friends, fear. Fear of the future, fear of dying, the fear of getting old. The fear of hurting other people, because hurt people hurt other people, as we know and understand now through experience. Worrying about my child, worry, which is based on fear. It caused a lot of anger, hurt and pain in my life, where I took it out on other people because I was controlled by my own thoughts. I allowed my own thoughts to control me. False expectations appearing real. I gathered false evidence, which we all do. We have no evidence or proof that something bad is going to happen in the future, but we tend to go into the future and create anxiety and panic attacks, and never stopping and saying, why am I going into the future? I have no power over the next moment, or the next minute, or the next hour, or the next day, but my way into the next day and the next week, the next month, and the next year, creating horrible sensations in my body, which is fear, destroying all the goodness that lives inside me. And it created arthritis and spondylitis in my spine and cancer and you name it. I lived with fear, my friends, and it absolutely destroyed me. I don't live with it today. I understand what it is. It was something I learned. When you look at your children, you will see and observe they do not live with fear. We never came out of mother's wombs with fear. We didn't come out of mother's womb trying to control other people. We lived innocent, walked about the house naked. We'd look people in the eye and say to you, speak a truth, which we don't do as adults. We'd speak a truth as a child and say, I don't like you, and go back playing with your toys. We fail to understand that fear is the only thing that cripples us and destroys every bit of goodness inside us. And to me, that goodness came through gratitude. The healing came through gratitude. Being grateful and thankful that for my pain, because I wouldn't be able to do the videos unless it was my pain. My pain was my greatest teacher. My pain taught me so much about seeking approval from other people, wanting to be liked and wanting to be loved, and worrying about my children and worrying that they're going to get up to something wrong, and I had no evidence, but it appeared real in my mind. The thoughts, the fear of dying, the fear of not having any money, which I've not got, the fear of not having enough money, fear of people was the big one for me. People pleasing, seeking approval. All these things stem from the childhood and the things I learned in the other videos which are explained in your home and in your environment. But to learn the fear, you know, the children, we don't just wake up one morning and decide and choose, I'm going to live with fear. So that explains quite simply what I'm talking about. We learn it. We learn it by listening to our parents, or even our children. We learn to worry by listening. Fear destroyed me, and it's destroying other people, as you know. It's the only thing that hurts you. The fear of not being loved, the fear of not being liked. And then we look at our childhood, we never get any love for our parents, we end up hating them and resenting our parents because they couldn't give us the love that we expected, which I'll go into later on in other videos. The expectations that we put onto other people, expecting people to behave like us, think like us and act like us. And when they don't, we want to control them, change them. We end up disliking them, resenting them and being bitter towards them because they're not thinking, behaving or acting like us. And that was the biggest thing that I've seen in my life, is the expectations causes a lot of pain and disappointment. I expected nothing today and I will never be disappointed. It's the same with the fear. The fear is an expectation. We're expecting bad things to happen and gathering false evidence, whether that be about losing your job. It's just fear, it's only thoughts. Thoughts that hurt us badly, that cripple our whole body, just our own thoughts. To be rid of the fear, my friends, we have to learn to take responsibility for it. Because no one walks by and throws a bag of fear at us. We create it through our own mind. It doesn't mean that we're stupid people. Everybody's suffering in this world because of fear. Fear causes war, causes greed, it causes ignorance. We know that, we've experienced it. We get angry when we watch the television, that's why I don't watch it. We get angry when we read the newspapers. We just get angry, because we've never dealt with the initial fear that we live in, which then goes into relationships with partners, husbands, wives, children, colleagues. We end up saying, I don't like my job. There's nothing wrong with the job, it's usually the people that we work with we don't like because of the expectations that we had and we projected onto them, or standards, how we live. But that fear, what it's done to us, when you look at the worry, shame, guilt, anger, resentment, bitterness, hatred, all stem from fear. Because we only have fear and love here on the planet. But we choose to live with fear because we've learned it. And it's all over the place. It's everywhere you go, people are riddled with fear. And fear causes us to gossip about other people and criticise them. And then we collude with other people because of our fear of saying, that's wrong, you shouldn't be doing that. But we're so frightened because we still want to be liked the way we did as children. We want to be loved. We don't want anybody thinking, oh, he's a bad person, he's negative. We won't admit to ourselves that what we're doing is damaging our own body and hurting us. I never thought in a million years I would find peace and happiness and contentment. Never in a million years did I ever think at one point I would ever find it. Through my pain and lying in hospitals and institutions, I had plenty of time to think. But when I lost my gran and my dad and my sister, and I just buried my mother there and my brother, I've had beautiful experiences inside my body, because I don't have fear anymore, because I've been able to practice on a daily basis, every single day, sincerity, thankfulness and gratitude for the things that I have. I'm still here, and I've lost a lot of friends and family. Please believe me in what I'm saying, my friends. False expectations appear real in our mind. That's all fear is. You might be thinking something different that you've read or listened to from somebody else. Use your own experience, please, because knowledge is worthless. It's only words. It's worthless. Your experience is your greatest teacher. It will say that you are crippled with your own thoughts that are creating fear, which create horrible sensations in our body. And the longer we run with these thoughts, the worse our body gets, where we end up stressed, pains in our back and our shoulders and our neck. You end up with arthritis, which is down to me, rigid thinking, continuously thinking and reacting the same way to my own thoughts, which caused a heck of a lot of pain. Now, when we can look at the fear and what it's caused in our life, if we gather this false evidence, it appears real, because we're feeling it, we're experiencing it. Why won't we change it? Knowing that when you change that thought, you change the energy. The difficult part is admitting to yourself it's wrong what I'm doing, which takes courage. That's why we have words like courage and serenity and peace and anger. They're just words. But behind that lies a sensation, a feeling and an emotion. And it's all through the way we speak and the way we think and the way we've learnt to speak and the way we've learnt to think. To get well, if you know any people you'll know and understand through experience, they had to change the way they were thinking. They had to. But we're trapped when we go to the doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists, because they're not really helping in my eyes. They're trying their best. I'm not downgrading any human being. We all try our best. But unless you go to the root, which is the cause of mental health, because mental health is down to the way we think. Things happened to us in the past as children, as adults and teenagers, that can break us, and we become trapped with that pattern of thought where we're blaming ourselves or we're blaming someone else, and we're creating horrible fear again, which is causing us to be angry and resentful and bitter towards other people. And the only person that hurt through that was me, just me, with harbouring horrible energy in my body towards other people because they wouldn't live up to my expectation. And again, that was down to fear. The fear of not being loved, the fear of not being liked, the fear of not being wanted. A lot of it stemmed from my childhood, because my mother and father broke up. I understand that now. You're a child, we don't know anything. But what we saw and what we heard in our home and environment, we copied on an unconscious level, which caused severity of fear, hurt and pain and blame. And when I stopped blaming, I found peace, total peace. When I recognised what fear was, I was expecting bad things to happen. It went away. Believe me, it goes away. It's an energy that changes. And I got that through being sincere and grateful and thankful for the things that I have that other people don't have. I've got toes, I can walk, I've got feet, I've got legs. Gratitude for my fingers, my hands, for coming through the cancer, coming through COVID, and all the way I lost my job, my employment. I was in a car accident as well. I don't see that as karma, because the guy was on his phone. But I'm okay, I can still walk and that, but I'm grateful because I've learned to manage my life through managing my own thoughts. And to me that is absolutely amazing. They're doing something, practicing on a daily basis. You will recognise the fear through the change in your body. That's when you know your thinking has went into a negative state, because it sends a feeling and a sensation through our body Please don't look at what the scientists say or academics, because what they're saying is came through a book. The way I used to speak when I studied, I just spoke through the book. And it hurt me because I wasn't being true to myself and I wasn't being true to other people. As I mentioned earlier, I've worked with scientists and academics, and we're all head cases. We know all the knowledge, we've gathered all this knowledge, but we can't change our own thoughts. We can't change the way we think on the spot. When you can, if you practice, when your body will warn you when you've went into negativity, went into fear, and you're starting to create something that your body doesn't want, and you don't want it. Nobody wants to live in fear. If we had a choice, we wouldn't live in fear. I'm giving you that choice today to learn to take responsibility for the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions and the sensations, the way you think and the way you're acting to thoughts that we've gathered out of a dirty habit that we've learned within our home and environment. And when you learn to challenge yourself, you will see the difference. Probably I'll speak about fear through all the videos and other things, because we have to. We don't think positively when we're in a negative state, if you know what I mean. We're too negative to bring a positive thought in. It takes practice to recognise your way of thinking, to take responsibility for it and challenge it on the spot. And within an hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute, in the moment, you'll be able to catch it. It's the only way I know how to change. Because we're pumped up with medication from doctors and psychologists, and that's preventing us from changing. It's preventing us from learning what we're responsible for. And it's thoughts. Yes, a lot of us were damaged as children, believe me. I've worked with it. I work with it every day. I've worked with women and children who have been severely abused and raped. With umpteen men. I've worked with men who have been raped in prison. I've worked with children, boys and girls who have been raped and severely abused. I've worked with every crisis in life, and that's why I've learned so much about how I can speak fluently about fear and other topics that I talk about. Not just listening to other people. Through listening to other people, I learn to look at myself and go, wow, I'm still doing that. That helped me immensely, working with other people and listening to them, their pain, and recognising my pain through listening to their pain, and then learning to catch it. When you live without fear, everything is amazing. You will never go back the way, because you're understanding now, I create fear, because I can create happiness and joy, and I also create fear. Nobody walks past and flings it at us. So I know now, if you practice it and understand that fear is learned, it's created, and we have the positivity and the courage and the strength to unlearn it through admitting, okay, I've learned it, I'm not going to blame anybody anymore, because blaming people and even blaming myself is insanity, because it's going to keep me trapped, and you're going to go through, this journey is very short, very, very short. We think it's long, but it's very short. We never know when the moment's going to come, we never know, but I know I will never regret anything that I've done, because I forgave myself and I made the amends with making the changes in my life. I don't live with fear. I help people understand it, which I'm trying to do just now. Don't expect anything bad to happen. Don't gather false evidence in your mind anymore. Catch it and create goodness, and you'll see what I mean by the horrible sensations will leave you when you create love and healing through destroying every bit of fear, which is through words and thoughts. So I'm very grateful for taking the time to listen to me, to watch, and I hope that you get something from these videos, because I speak very simple, no jargon, no complicated words, from the heart to connect to the heart. I hope and pray that you've took something from this. Namaste, my brothers and sisters, my friends. Bless you all and thank you all. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.